Hey, what is up everybody? How are you guys doing? My name is Brian with Bluefoot Homestead, and I just wanted to kind of go over a couple ideas and different things to think about. Maybe one good suggestion for the possibility of SHTF happening and an EMP. Worst case scenario, what's the best vehicle to possibly have? Now you have all the obvious things. I have a storm chasing car, I have a pickup truck, I have my trusty motorcycle, like my girl here, and then one other one. So with a pickup truck, it gets horrible gas mileage. It's gonna have the functionality to be able to carry things, but really a car will too. You can put bags on a motorcycle, carry some stuff, obviously not as much as a pickup truck or a car. But both of them are pretty equivalent as far as a truck and a car. A truck, you're going to be able to go over better terrain. You're going to be able to get around a little bit better. But gas mileage, gas preservation, things like that, it's going to have its downfalls. A car, I have a very economical Toyota Corolla. Of course, gas mileage is going to be good. And I actually have it set up for storm chasing. So I have a full bed that sleeps rather comfortable, surprisingly, in that little tiny Corolla. There's a trunk, there's things, you can put roof racks on it and be able to carry some things on the roof, things of that sort. Here's my little kitty. She is recovering from being fixed in a little surgery. Hey, oh, I know, okay. Yeah. So I have to keep her kind of locked up in the garage just to let her get a little bit of outside time. So I'll take you for a ride one day, I promise. Yeah, so anyway, definitely some good advantages to having a nice little economical car, especially a Prius or an electric car or something like that. If you are able to have some electricity, definitely a good idea. Of course, if there's an EMP or a power outage, the power system gets hacked or something along those lines, everything's going to stop. There'll be gridlock, dead cars in the road. Nothing's going to be going to stores or anything of that sort. So, you got to think kind of what are you going to be able to use a vehicle for also, trusty motorcycle. Now this thing gets the best gas mileage out of everything. My truck gets 16 miles, my car gets 35, this gets 42. So I get a little better gas mileage, so having a little bit of gas stocked up, this is going to get me really far. The other thing is I'm going to be able to get this into places that wouldn't be able to get a car or a pickup truck. So it's got its advantages there. But I have something possibly even better. The best? I don't know. Let's see. Yes, a mountain bike. Now, what are some of the advantages to a mountain bike? Well, they're cheap. You can get them. Just about every house has a bike. Most houses, especially if you're in good old suburbia and you need to bug out and get out of town without having to worry about traffic, stop cars, anything like that. You can take this thing through yards. You can take it through grass, fields, lots of different places that you can't really take any vehicle, even a motorcycle. A motorcycle is heavy. First sign of mud or anything like that, it's probably going to end up going down unless you really know how to ride. Even in grass and things like that, it gets pretty slippery and a little sketchy. So another thing, a mountain bike. And back it up a little bit. You can get a couple cans of spray paint and paint this thing any sort of camouflage or anything that's going to be able to hide it, and hide this thing pretty well. Even just a little throw, like a little camo cover, some netting or something like that. Very easy to camouflage this thing and hide it. And another thing, if you were to do that, you can get a good balance point. Tie a rope off on this and get a weight on the end of a rope, throw it over a limb, and you could pull this thing up into a tree and make it disappear. Absolutely. Most people aren't going to be looking up when they're walking around. They're going to be focused at eye level. They're going to be walking on the ground to be quiet. I mean, they're going to be looking at the ground, you know, to make sure you're not stepping on any twigs or making a lot of noise if you're trying to snoop or anything like that. So lifting a mountain bike up into the air, stick it up in a tree, you know, if you need to hide out, spin back around, catch somebody off guard, a lot of advantages to it. Gas mileage on this, infinity. A little bit of maintenance, keeping up on it, making sure it's in good working condition all the time. You're going to be able to go coast to coast. You can go from Florida to Washington State if you want. It's going to take a little while, but you can definitely get the job done. So anything that's going to be in your immediate area, which if you're running on gas or diesel or anything like that, you're going to want to conserve gas pretty much as possible. So, I mean, you're not going to be going out of state on a small little vacation or anything like that when SHTF happens. It's going to be a quick run to the store. It's going to be a run into the city, try to get some supplies. It's going to be going to a family member's house. It's going to be doing something reasonably close to where you are. Then if it comes to bugging out, I'm not really one in the bug out plan. Everybody has their own ideas and opinions about that, but that's just me. I'm going to be bugging in. So if you are having a bug out plan, this thing's really good. You can actually get saddlebags that go on the back, and you can outfit this thing to literally live off of. A lot of people do it. They travel across the country. They have their tents. They have basically their bug out bag packed. You can get saddlebags for the front. You can get a bag in the center. You can get bags in the back. You can definitely make it happen and get it done. Now it's going to take a little bit of preparation ahead of time to be able to do that, but you can do it. Another thing too, flat tires. Now with a car, pickup truck, motorcycle, you're probably going to end up getting a flat tire. The roads aren't going to be maintained. If you live in a place that runs sweepers and stuff like that, they're not going to be running. You're going to end up getting glass, nails, sharp objects, and you're going to be driving in places that you normally would not be driving. That's where you get flat tires. Now, in certain cases, you might be able to fix it. You can get a nail in a tire of a car or something like that. You can put a screw into it, a little fix it flat. You're going to be able to run it for a little while. Not forever, but a little while. Good thing with mountain bike, you can get tubeless tires. I don't believe you can do that with any other vehicle. You can get solid rubber, lightweight tires that you will never get a flat tire. So just another good advantage of, you know, thinking about a mountain bike for an option. You can get a decent mountain bike for a fairly cheap price. You know, when it comes to buying preps and stuff like that, we all know things get very expensive. But for 500 bucks or something like that, you can pick up a bike like this, which is a pretty good bike. Not bad, not the best. Well under 500 bucks, probably $200-300 used in good condition. So, you know, I mean, my girlfriend got a very nice bike for $275 not that long ago. So, hydraulic brakes, the whole works. So, the downfall to this is if you are needing to get out of Dodge quick, if you have somebody on your tail or somebody's trying to rob you or worse, and you get to your bike and you hop on this thing, you are going nowhere fast. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care how good you are on a bike. If I am 10 feet behind you, 20 feet, 30 feet behind you, and we both take off at the same time, I'm running on foot and you start pedaling, I'm catching you. Especially if it's a dire situation or adrenaline's really kicked in or something like that, you're gonna get caught. So unless you're moving at a good pace and there's nobody to jump out ahead of you or something like that to take you down, you know, you're gonna be able to get caught. Any motorized vehicle, it's gonna be a little bit harder. So that is the downfall to this, but really, I mean, you can hide this thing, you can ride it forever, especially with some spare parts. yeah, you can get supplies, you can run into town, you can carry a decent amount of weight, you can travel cross country, you can put some miles down. And if you're not used to riding a bike, it's gonna get really brutal. That first mile will suck. The next 5 miles are a lot easier. Well, the next 20 miles are about the same as the first 5 miles. So you really get used to it and you're able to really lay down some miles on a bike. I would suggest getting one that's a little bit better than a little bit worse. If all you can get is a Huffy that's a couple $100 out of Walmart brand new, it's gonna be better than nothing, of course. But if you can actually have the time to invest, spend a little bit of money in a decent mountain bike, the efficiency is much, much better. So you don't have the weight, you don't have any resistance with bearings in the way of propulsion to let you go. Just a nicer bike is going to let it happen all a little bit easier, which is just going to make the whole process a little bit easier. So just wanted to bring that up. Hopefully it's something maybe a lot of people don't talk about, and maybe to get you thinking about some alternatives for a possible SHTF scenario. So that's about all I got. Till next time, I appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe button if you got to the end. I do appreciate it if you got this far. You guys have a good day. Until next time, peace.